there was a week that I applied for like 35 jobs. I used to think that I was the only one that was recommended for the job. Not
Mm.
until I started working, and one day I was just talking with my team lead and she told me that they had over 200
Are you
applications for
serious?
my role. I was like,
Wow. Okay.
like
Okay. Flips air.
I'm telling you. Uh,
Hi guys, welcome to an episode of 20s Uncensored, the questions we whisper. My name is Ifeolua and I'm the host of 20s Uncensored. In this episode, we have the one and the only Ifedayo of Lagos, of
uh,
Lelele.
oh my god.
So meet Ifedayo. Ifedayo, please can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. My name is Adeosu Ifedayo. What else? Uh,
What do you do and all of that? And
okay.
how did you get the name Ifedayo of Lagos?
Okay. So I'm an operations specialist at Bolt. Bolt is a ride hailing app, but I work on the Bolt Food team, which is a food delivery app. And how did I get to Ifedayo of Lagos? I think okay, actually I was born and brought up in Lagos, and I'm very good when it comes to navigating Lagos. Like any part of Lagos, you can be sure that I would help you, like I'm your map. So I think that was how I got the name.
All right, so Ifedayo of Lagos.
Uh,
So if you need to know anything about Lagos,
just call me.
reach out to her. All right, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about job hunting, especially after school. For a lot of people, one question that is always on their mind, or for a lot of people in their 20s, one question that's always on their mind is, oh my God, especially when they are about to graduate, is like, what next? How am I
Yeah.
going to get a job? How am I going to start making money? Because I mean, pocket money is going to stop coming in. Your
Mhm.
parents are going to start asking you, okay, what's up? What's going on? So we're going to be talking about, the process of job hunting, the rejection part, the acceptance part, the finally getting work and navigating that aspect of life, and all of the things that basically come with job hunting, especially after school.
Okay, so for me, I don't like to be like less busy. I like to have my hands on something I'm doing. So I remember part two when we were supposed to go on break. I went to meet my part advisor and I was like, please write me a letter of recommendation. I want to get somewhere I can intern. And he was like, they don't intern, they don't do COS in this department. I said, man, I don't mind. Just write me a letter. I don't want to go and sit at home. And I think that was like my first official job. I worked at a local government secretariat in the HR department, and really, it really helped me and opened my eyes to the work environment. I didn't do much, but at least I learned something which was like very meaningful. And from there, I started business when I was in 300 level. When I started business, I was just selling because I could navigate Lagos. So I knew some places where you could get really cheap stuff, like things like maybe clothing that by the time you buy them and you put your gain of like 2K, you're making a lot of money. So I started entrepreneurship like that. I'll come to Lagos, go to those markets, buy stuffs, bring them back. And then I upgraded. I started China importation. Ah, God. I made money from
Akpata
China
piti.
importation. I made a lot of money. I did China importation up to like part four. I think one of the reasons I stopped was when I was in my final year. I did a very big pre-order, me and a friend, and usually I do it myself. I don't use an agent. I do everything myself. But my friend was like, "Oh, let's use an agent," stuff like that, and that's how we lost our money, close to a million naira. I was
Wow.
really sad, and that was when I finally washed my hand and say,
I
"I'm
don't do
not doing
again.
again." And after then, after my final year was Corona year. I graduated 2019. 2020 was Corona year, and when I was home, I was still struggling to do a lot of stuff because I just fully moved back to Lagos. So I was trying to sell plain t-shirts, trying to sell face cap, upping on any available thing to do. I just wanted to do something. And June 2020, I did my first interview for my first official job. So I worked with an NGO, the Lighthouse Network. So I was their programs manager and I worked there for a year. I didn't have to apply for the job. I was recommended for the job. So I just had my interview and I started to work. I worked there for a full 1 year. So even when I went to NYC and I came back, I was still doing the job for about 1 or 2 months after NYC camp. And that's it. That's how I started. Let
Okay.
me not say all the story.
I think there was one part you even forgot. First off, we forgot to say Ifedayo actually owns an NGO.
Oh yes,
She
yes,
does.
yes.
That's how enterprise that you get. And she really loves to help people very well.
Trying my best. Okay, I would say I don't know the one that hurts most, whether rejection or not hearing from them at all.
Mm.
So me, I had more of not getting any feedback, applying and nobody's reaching out to you to even say, "Oh, we saw your application, but sorry." Like, okay, so after NYSC, I was in Oshogbo and I was like, God, I want to have a job before I come back to Lagos. I cannot come and sit down and be asking them that mommy, data money, food money. So I was like, let me apply. And I already packaged my CV and I had like my CV is okay. Like
Genge.
me sef, I know see my CV they okay. So I was applying for a lot of jobs. To be honest, I didn't have a direction. I just wanted to have a job at that point, first of. I knew that later in life I would know what I want to do, but I wanted a job, just money, because of money. So I was applying for a lot of jobs on LinkedIn, on Jobberman, on Indeed. I was always applying and there was a week that I applied for like 35 jobs. I applied and there were just some of them that I knew that I'm overqualified. But I just wanted to apply because of the money she get. And this will never get back to me. And I was like, they don't see my application. Or why you put out the vacancy if you'll not
If
reach
you're not
out
going
back
to
to
reach
us?
out.
So they didn't get back to me and all. So the only one that I got a rejection was when a friend told me about an opening that was in his office and was like, oh, I think you fit for this role. I think you should apply for this role. And I actually went ahead, I applied and they scheduled me for an interview. I did the first interview. The interview was very intense. It was an NGO, it was fully a fully remote job, and I scaled through the first one. I got to the second stage. I scaled through the second stage. I got to the third stage. And after the third stage, I was like, at this point, no one know how I'm getting this job. And they actually made me feel like, oh, I was like the best candidate from everyone they've interviewed. And I just got a rejection mail, and they're like, we're not moving forward. So usually me, I'm the kind of person that I would I can mail you back and be like, oh please, I want to know why I got
Why,
rejected.
yes.
Not because I'm pained or anything, but just for me to be able to prepare for the
Better
next
for the
interview
next.
and all. But I just forgot about it and all. And that was like the only major rejection I've gotten. I don't think I've gotten any other rejection. To be honest, for NYC, I'm indifferent. Everybody have different experience. Some people will tell you, oh, during my NYC year, I was able to do this during my NYC year. So me, I feel like it's beyond NYC. Just pray that God will order your steps
Amen.
right. That's what is important. So when I camped in Zamfara, and when I relocated, I
Zamfara.
was relocated. Yes, they relocated me to Oshogbo. My relocation was free and all. So when I got to Oshogbo, I was I actually wanted Lagos, and that was because the place I said I was working during Corona year, I was still
Yeah.
working there, and I was hoping that if I go to Lagos, I'll continue working with them.
And you just
And
serve there.
but I think God had better plans for me. Let me just put it like that. If I had come to Lagos, I'm not sure if my what's in radio
If the
if
journey.
my journey would have been like this. Yes, God had better plans for me. When I moved to Oshogbo, um where they posted me to was a secretariat, so I wasn't really doing anything serious. I didn't learn anything there, to be honest. The only thing I learned there was hierarchy, and they don't really do anything in most of these secretariats. I was just
Yes.
there, but one thing was I was able to network. I meet people. See, I believe that in life you need people. See,
Definitely.
one thing, I network a lot. I talk to everyone. I want to know what your perspective, your thinking is about something. So when I meet someone, I engage the person. I want to know if we have alike thinking or something like that. You get. So when I was in Oshogbo, I was only networking. I was meeting people, and my boss then, she was very nice. Through her, I was able to meet like the chief of staff of Osun State. I was able to meet a lot of top people that I was able to discuss with, and to be honest, they've been beneficial to me. So mostly during NYC year, I didn't do much. I want to say it was my resting year. I chose not to do much actually. I didn't want to stress myself. I didn't want to. At the point, I was beating myself up because some of my friends were in Lagos. They were earning money. Me, I was only earning state money, 5K. So I was earning 5K plus the 33K. That was 38K. And me, like, I'm an aggressive saver. And I was saving like 25K out of the 3K. So my friends were in Lagos, they were earning extra like 40K, and I was like, oh God, it's not Lagos. But I'm grateful to God for the journey. So I don't think they should scrap NYSC, to be honest. It's different. I feel like it should be optional. Let's be optional. If
Maybe.
you want to do or if you don't want to do. But to be honest, if you speak to a number of people, they'll tell you, like people that maybe they were really serious with NYC, they'll tell you that they were able to make some really good and right decisions during NYC. Yeah. So
Okay. All right. I'm currently serving and it is well. That's all I can say. All right.
one thing I would say, see network, oh, speak to people, talk. And the truth is that me, I don't even network as much as I should. So recently I met someone. Her name is Jumoke Afolarin. I don't know if you know Jumoke Afolarin.
No.
Jumoke finished from OAU to God. Jumoke knows how to network. Like I just met her recently, and networking is very, very good. People that you don't even know, they'll blow your trumpet. That's one
Yeah.
thing that networking does for you. So our networking has really helped me. I don't regret any network I've made, to be honest. So when I was in Oshogbo, I remember when boat came to Oshobo, I heard about it, and good enough, the person that was going to head boat then was someone I knew already. So I was like, oh, I could help you set up your I could help you set up the office space and all.
You told
And
him.
yes, I told him, and
Okay.
I went around. I was able to help him set up. I was like, do this, and I'm like, if there's any opening, recommend me. Oh, you say, I'm not sure that I say anything, just recommend me any opening and all. She get, but I'm just really grateful because at least the networking, I know what
What
it
it has
has
done
done
for you.
for me.
You said when the person came, when they came to Oshogo to start, you were of help. You
Yes,
served
yes,
in
yes,
that way. So that means in networking, a place of service,
yes, there is.
and there is something that that service can do for you in future. All
Yes.
right.
Okay. So my job at both. So after I was telling the person that, oh, recommend me and all, he was like, oh, send me your CV. And I already had my LinkedIn optimized. So
Optimize your LinkedIn.
I just packaged my CV well, and I sent it to him. And he was always telling me, have they reached out to you? I was saying, no, nobody has reached out to me. Have they reached out to you? No. I was just like that. And to be honest, when they will reach out to me, it was just a day before my birthday, 2022.
Oh,
I was just checking my mail before I slept. I like to check my mails in the night.
check your mails.
So another good thing. So my job again is a big testimony. When the mail came in, it came in from a personal mail. The person I sent to use a personal work mail. It didn't come from like boat something. It came from a personal mail. So I thought it was one of those LinkedIn notifications where to say somebody message you or something.
Yeah.
I already closed my mail. My mind just told me that go back there, open it now. Like no harm in opening. I now opened it. I just said, dear Dio, you've been recommended for. Your CV was submitted to us. You've been recommended for a role. Kindly book a slot in my calendar.
Wow.
I'm like, who be this one? So I was still reluctant, but I just clicked on the link. When I clicked on it, it took me to Google Calendar, and I was like, hope these people are not trying to. I just looked up at the corner of my phone. I just saw Vote logo. God, I could not scream. So I booked a slot in our calendar, and I think 2 or 3 days later, I had my interview. After I had my first interview, I was very, very prepared. My boyfriend sat me down like this and prepared me for the interview. In fact, I was overconfident
Have a
and
boyfriend.
very important. So I was overconfident, and I went to the interview, and she said, oh, if you do well, I'll pass you on to my country manager and they will reach out to you. So another thing I did when I got a mail, I checked that up on social media,
Okay.
LinkedIn and other. I just wanted to have an idea of who she is. I already knew what she looked like even before the interview and all. So like I think about a week later, I got another invite. I got to the second stage, and it was the country manager that interviewed me. And one thing for sure, I think I was at a point I was too overconfident because the man was asking me that, okay, how would you look out for yourself because of the role they wanted to give me? And I was telling them that I grew up in Mushi. Imagine that kind of answer. Like I was giving them the answer that I'm street. Like I take care of myself. She get. So lo and behold, after the second interview, nobody reached out to me. Um, 1 week was getting to 2 weeks, and I told myself, I will not check my mail again. I'm giving myself heart attack. I was checking my mail every 1 hour. I said I will not check my mail again. So I didn't check my mail. I stopped. I said I'll be checking my mail interval of 1 day or 2 days.
Okay.
So I didn't check my mail, and um, they sent me an offer letter. So I didn't see it.
Because you didn't check your
Because I
mail.
didn't check my mail, and they called me. So the phone number I put on my CV is my main line, but it's usually in a small phone. So that small phone, I just throw it anywhere. But lo and behold, the phone was with me that day.
Thankfully. Thank God.
Thankfully. And they were called me and were like, hello, we sent you an offer letter yesterday, but you're yet to reply. I say, hey, if it's to call
Please
people, where
you
you
get. Now God.
it's God though. I checked my mail and God, when I saw my offer letter, I say, Amy the cotton, my first job. And no, 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 no. And I just knew that with that standard I was starting with, I knew that I could never come down. Like it was up and up. I could not come down. So what will I add again? I was just really happy and all. So I would not say that I did not hustle for that job. I did the back work. I did the back work of serving, of networking. And I remember that I used to think that I was the only one that was recommended for the job. Not
Mm.
until I started working, and one day I was just talking with my team lead and she told me that they had over 200
Are you
applications for
serious?
my role. I was
Wow. Okay.
like
Okay. Flips air.
I'm telling you. No, no, no. I just know that was God. It was God.
All right.
I have a lot to say, but one thing I would say is volunteer. Everything is not about money. Be ready to volunteer. Give yourself out selflessly. Give yourself out. Be ready to volunteer. People will see the work and be like, cool. If this person can work like this
Without
without
getting
getting
money.
paid,
Okay.
then I'm very sure that this person will handle my work well. Then be a loyalist. Be loyal. When you're loyal to people, people can always put in, because these days me, I'm very very scared to recommend people. To be honest, I'm very scared to recommend people. You can recommend someone and at the end of the day they'll just do rubbish and spoil your name and everything like that. So be very loyal. Then don't do anything that will tarnish your integrity and your reputation.
Okay.
People might not say anything. Some people like this, they'll borrow money from you, they'll not return it. They write out your DM to say, please, when you have a job, don't forget. I'm going to forget you. The way you forgot my money, I'll forget you. So put in the work, optimize your LinkedIn. I did my LinkedIn optimization during Corona year. I attended a class, a paid class. Then I went ahead to optimize my LinkedIn. I feel like my LinkedIn is never so great like that. But then you see the actual work and the major things, anything you're looking for as a recruiter, you still see it there.
Okay.
Then network. Hey, when you go out, talk to people. Tell people what you do. Even when you have a job, still network. You can get something better than
Than
what you
what you
are
currently have,
doing.
yeah.
And so those network, you don't know where people will come in and also it was through networking that my sister started to work with Moazu Africa. Is an NGO stuff. And I remember when she posted it on her status that they were recruiting. I just said let me apply, and I applied.
Yeah.
And when I applied, I went for their first event, which was on International Girls Day. And I just gave me, I just gave myself, I was carrying chair, doing, and me, that's just how I am. And I think she was
Yes.
very, very impressed and all. And she had an invite to come for Future Africa Award night, and she was like, oh, she was going to extend the invitation to me. So I went on her behalf. And God, and I was like, also happy. Like if I didn't network, if I didn't volunteer, I'm not sure I would have had that opportunity. And
Yeah.
even when I went for that event, I was still networking with a lot of people. I met a lot of people doing great night. Like you just sit in the confine of your room and thinking that oh my, you don't know anything.
You don't know what's happening
I'm telling you, don't
outside.
know what's happening outside. So network big time. But another thing, always have something to offer. Have value. When people ask you that,
Yes.
what do you do? Be ready to say, oh, I tell people, oh, I'm a social volunteer. I'm an operations specialist. I can do this. I do consultancy. I can do a number of stuff. When I start talking to you and I say, oh, this is the line you I'll tell you, oh, I have an idea about what you also do. I can do this for you. This I can call me, and I'm ready to offer help without money. Money will come oh, money will still come. I know other motivational speaker will tell you that don't do it for free, don't see money will come. And what else will I say? Network is important. Network and good network. So if you are attending event conferences and all, speak to people, talk to people, and attend the right events. If you are going to house party and all, those are not people that I'm not saying that people there will not help you, but then if you are looking for people that are like minds and all, I think you should attend conferences. It will really
Okay.
help. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. I've never really had a physical interview. It was online. So I think be confident. Whatever is in your CV, be able to prove, like when they're telling you, oh, you studied this, can you tell us this? Be able to say something. And if
Okay.
you're putting something in your CV, be able to prove it.
Talk about, yeah,
Yeah,
prove
talk
it.
about it that oh, I did this or I did that. So just be very confident. Then whatever you're going to interview about, go and read about it. I did my homework. I did a
Yeah.
lot of homework when I was going for my interview. I checked on my recruiter. I knew her name. I had her picture already and all. I already went to check the job role and all. And I think that was what really like stood out for them. And all, because at that point I saw that the reason why they were employing me, they were trying to solve a particular problem. They were having a supply issue.
Okay.
So because of that, I went to do findings about it and look for solutions. And so do your homework, very important. Be self-aware
Yeah.
and not then don't overpromise. Don't say
Hmm.
I can do this,
I can
I
work
can
under
do
pressure.
that. No, don't overpromise. One
Okay.
thing is that be enthusiastic, then be open to learn.
Yeah.
Show them that you're ready to learn, you're a fast learner and all. Then speak about your track record, things you've done and things you are learning and all. So I think that's very important.
All right.
I would say networking is not so hard. You don't have to big packaging and all. Just introduce yourself when you go to conference. Oh, my name is this, my name is that, this is what I do and all. So for people that maybe they are introverts, so another thing that has really worked is optimizing your LinkedIn page and posting on LinkedIn
Okay.
about the things you do. Then there are a lot of people that you can enter their LinkedIn DM and be like, hi, my name is this is what I do, I'd love to connect with you. We could like useful to ourselves one of these days
Yeah.
or anything. So anything that works for you, just to be honest. But I think there's nothing beats
Physical
physical
interaction.
networking. No matter how, as an introvert, you still need work, you still need people. So you just have to talk to people. You don't have to overly engage them. Just tell them little things. Oh, we are sitting beside someone. Hi, my name is this. You don't even have to tell them on the spot. You can just say, can we exchange contact? And you can chat them up later and say, oh, we met at the event. Oh, I do this, I do that. Kindly
Okay.
reach out if you have anything and all. So it's not that hard, to be honest.
Okay. So it's not that hard. Network, just start
Mm-hmm.
the conversation and then it will flow from there, hopefully. All
Yeah.
right. So thank you very, very, very much for this episode. Even me, I have learned a lot. I mean, when it's time to get my first job, I have learned a lot. So thank you very much. So
Well, I would say invest in yourself. Very, very important. Invest in yourself. Then speak to people. Ask questions. I think when you ask questions, it helps you make the right decision. So let me give you a scenario to that. So I have two friends that do HR, and when you want to take their professional exam, one of my friends took HPRI or HP. It's just an international certification for HR. Then my other friend took CIPM. So the way the international certification works is that you write it once you pass, you get your certification. But for CIPM, you have like 3 or 4 diets that you keep writing and all. And CIPM is not as recognized as the other one, and
Okay.
you're going to spend more for CIPM. But that's because she did not communicate. Like she had already gotten to like the third stage when she started to hear that this one has more rating than what she's doing and she's
Yeah.
spending more money. So it like communication is very key. Speak to people, ask questions. See, you can ask 5 people. Keep me, I like to ask questions. I don't want to make mistake. So I'm always asking questions. So ask questions, invest in yourself. Like I said before, network, very important. Then volunteer, join organizations. When I was on campus, I joined ISEC. I worked with JCI. I was not a member, but I volunteered for them.
Yeah.
I volunteered for DTA Foundation and a number of other places just because I wanted to meet people and I wanted to network, and it really helped me a whole lot. It really helped me.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
You're
much for today's
welcome.
episode. I'm sure that everybody watching has learned at least one thing that can
Yeah.
help when finding their job or when getting their first job. So thank you very much. Please say thank you to Ifedayo in the comment section.
Thank you for
And
having me.
you're welcome. We thank you too for coming and ask questions in the comment section. I'm sure she'll be in the comment section to answer
Yeah.
questions if you have any. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe if you are yet to, and give this
Subscribe
video a
and
thumbs
share
up.
and comment.
You get it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.